all I want you to do first is get yourself a good circle. And then once you've got that, we can start to restate it and get rid of the lines that were helping us see where it is. If there's lines that aren't so good, we'll end up erasing those. But starting with a 2H or an HB would be my advice to you, because we can make changes and clean those up. What I want you to do for this exercise is imagine, like we have been, that our light source is coming down from the upper left-hand side. Remember, before you shade anything, you have to look and see where the light is coming from. You have to identify the light and the direction of the light. And if there's not a light source, we have to create one. We have to imagine one. And that's what we'll be doing today. So I set some reference pieces at your table, some helper sheets, that kind of look like this. You know, and that's kind of where we're headed with this, but we'll spend today and tomorrow doing it. What I'd like you to do is then place some cross-contour rings on your sphere. Don't do this yet, just watch, I'll finish in a moment. Remember, that first one is going to be our highlight. These cross-contours are eventually going to be covered with shadow, so don't do them dark. That is the other reason why I suggest an H pencil. These are just guidelines for ourselves, so we know which direction to put our shading in. So I'm just going to put on, you know, as many that fit. It's just going to help me remember which direction to head in. Remember to try to keep these curved. Follow this first little egg oval and make sure your first ones are curved. Okay? The key to this is, like I said, try to avoid these, you know, this is close, but you see how these are kind of hooked and curved around? They really duplicate the curve that's here. And don't go straight across. I think we're getting pretty good with cross contours. What I'd like you to do then is start doing what you did in the value scale. All shading is putting this scale on a subject, okay? Without using your fingers to smudge it, but using the pencils. So we're going to take this information and put it onto an object, and that's all we're doing, okay? I would definitely turn your paper so it's comfortable for you to work with. I would also protect your drawing once you get graphite down from your hand. So I'm going to start out with my 2H pencil. I'm going to try to follow my contour, and you can look at that reference sheet. The darkest part of the object is really going to be right down in this section, facing away from the light. I will end up actually kind of shading with lines to start, and it will look quite messy. But as you remember on Friday, by the time I bring all these other pencils over the top of it, all that mess will actually smooth out into a nice transition from dark to light. So I'm kind of making lines because it's actually easier for me to follow my cross contour direction. All right? I'm also starting to lighten my pressure. Remember, we said the pencils are really helpful. The 2H will not get too dark, but you also have to vary the pressure of your hand. All right? So I've got that dark area, about as dark as I'm going to get it with the 2H. Which pencil would I go to next if you used your little scale? Who remembers? We go from 2H. What's the next darkest pencil in our batch? Yeah, thank you, HB. So I'll switch to the HB. Or a number 2. You know, these are HBs as well. I'm going to find my other one now. All right. And I'm going to just keep doing this, and I'm going to build this thing up. Okay. I want to just show you this and turn you loose here. I would keep going with this until I, get to my B's. And this will take some time. But can you see how this already has pretty good dimension to it? Really, I've only got about 2 values or 3 values. Really, it's like 1 through 3 here that I have represented. But by doing this, when you look at a sphere like this, even though this has more values, do you see the flatness? This is why cross contours and understanding basic forms is a really useful tool. Because when you understand the direction to shade, understand these pencils, you can really improve your light and dimension. Okay? So what I'd like you to do is get your pencils, draw that sphere, draw it pretty big, okay? So you have enough room. You can also sketch out the shape of the cast shadow, and you can use the sheets at your table to help you. I think I even have a sheet that sort of looks like this. It's numbered, so you can kind of think of it in terms of like, okay, if 0 is white, this first little highlight will be white, and that will help you kind of know where to put those values on your scale or on your sphere. That's it for instruction for today.